This family health and wellness segment is brought to you by GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Healthcare.
Lucozade and Espresso are teaming up to celebrate everyday energy heroes, the day-to-day superstars who fit 1,000 things into 24 hours in style. Lucozade, do it with energy.
It was Theodore Roosevelt who said, "Nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort." Today we meet people who lead difficult lives and lead them well.
And we've tracked down Nadia, a wonderful young mom who not only works full-time, is able to keep the home fires burning while her husband is away, but is also now studying as well. I'm hoping she's got some tips for me on how to squeeze every last minute out of every day. Let's go.
The first dynamic lady is the mother of a 22-month-old baby. She also works as a communications officer during the day and studies environmental management at night. Meet Nadia Lemades.
Nadia, thank you so much for taking just a second's break to hopefully give us some advice on how we can maximize our time. Give me a little bit of a blow-by-blow.
Yes, Graham, in the mornings I get up, I get my son ready, I get myself ready, I take him to school, I go to work where I spend most of my day. Then I come back, spend time with him and prepare meals for us, bath him, and then off to my studies.
Let's talk about your studies. What course are you doing?
I'm studying towards a BA degree in environmental management, which is basically conserving and preserving the environment for future generations to come.
So that's certainly a very applicable degree at the moment. What are you wanting to do with it?
I'm aiming to supplement my current degree that I have. Just to equip myself for better positions out there because the job market is tough at the moment.
Why study? Why was it so important for you to further your education?
Growing family is important, but empowering yourself as a woman is also very important. Achieving your goals, making something of yourself, and that's what I'm doing at the moment.
And of course, this sets a wonderful example of self-respect and empowerment for your little boy as well.
Everything I do is for him. It's to create a better future for him, so that he can also have discipline and ambition one day.
And what are those temptations that sometimes pull you off the track?
I love my reality TV, I like going to the cinema, I love reading, but just sometimes you just have to put everything aside and concentrate on your work. I go by the saying, rather suffer pain of discipline now than suffer pain of regret later.
Well, let's say I'm wanting to add studies on top of a full-time career. Any advice?
Lots of coffee, Graham.
I can relate to that.
And there's institutions like UNISA that makes it possible for people like me to work during the day and study after hours. And lots of positiveness, discipline, and then you will achieve your goals.
Keep it up and good luck for your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keeping up with Nadia was quite the challenge, even for our action man friend. We were also inspired by another mom on the move. She's studying to become a chartered accountant. Meet Aduma.
Let me help you carry your books.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, for someone who just wrote an exam, you look incredibly relaxed. How did it go?
Oh, it was easy. It was easy. I was writing commercial law. It was a 2-hour paper. Did it in an hour. Smiling.
Wow, wow. And I know that you have a permanent job while studying as well. How do you make those two worlds work together?
It's not easy because one has to balance work, home and studying at the same time, but also you have to sacrifice some other things.
Wow, I'm impressed. You sound like a lady who's in control. Let's have a sit down and have a chat. So what are some of the challenges that you have to deal with doing what you do?
Time management is something that I find myself struggling with quite a lot because I have to wake up in the morning, go to work and get home, prepare dinner and still have to study at the same time. So by the time you wake up the next morning, you're all tired and you probably haven't have enough sleep.
What have you had to give up?
I'm doing something that's not really easy. With that, I need to put in a lot of time. So I sacrifice on my social life a little bit, not completely. My friends are not too happy about that, but at the end of the day, they understand.
Having studied myself, I know that focus is a very important part of it. So how do you keep your focus?
My goal. There's no point in comparing myself to other people where some of them have completed their degrees and they have their qualifications. So I have to think about Aduma sometimes and just focus on whatever I need to focus on.
So what's going to happen the day you have that title? You are Aduma CASA. What lies beyond that for you?
I'm hoping great opportunities for Aduma.
Any advice for students like you who are working and studying at the same time?
Don't let anything take you off track. Focus on your studies and focus on your goal and keep committed. You will achieve it.
Well, Aduma, thank you very much for your time. And speaking of which, There are still a few hours left in the working day, and I assume you need to get back to the office, right?
Yes, I do.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.
We salute all South Africans chasing that balance between work and studies. You are true everyday energy heroes. It's just a priority juggling, nighttime classing, distinction cracking kind of energy. Lucozade, do it with energy.
Really inspirational ladies, and we can learn so much from them. With me in studio, also an inspiring individual who has a very busy schedule. On the one side, he works as a rock star, and I've seen him numerous of times in bands working as a session musician. On the other side, he is not just a full-time teacher in history and all kinds of things, but he's also just almost completed his PhD, so he's studying as well at the same time. Rocker Schalk. Hoe gaan het?
Goedemorgen. Het gaat goed.
Ek kan nie glo jy het so 'n besige skedule. I mean, I look at this and I'm thinking, how do you juggle all of this at once? Being on stage as a musician, I've seen you with Car and Zord, I've seen you with Bed on Bricks, and then also being a lecturer and studying your PhD.
I think balance is important. So it'll be interesting to one day have only one thing to focus on. I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I'll have to take up a hobby or something. But it's exciting, it's fast-paced, but it's nice.
Yeah.
And my thesis is on music as well, so I'm kind of bringing the academic side and the performing side together.
Wat vir jou is die grootste uitdaging om te werk en te studeer?
Wakker bly. Nee, baie keer moet jy vroeë vlugte weer vang of jy het 'n vertoning gehad die vorige aand, jy maak 12 uur klaar, jy's 1 uur by die hotel, jy moet 4 uur weer opstaan, jy land en dan moet jy reguit na die klaskamer toe gaan, lesinglokaal. So
jy's 'n rocker met dissipline.
Jy moet hê.
Well, next to you, Lucy, I mean, I spoke to Lucy earlier. You considering studying part-time next year, you probably want to ask some questions because here's an expert that is doing it full-time.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose for me, when I did my honours at Rhodes University and it's full-time, so there's a lot of interaction with other students and other lecturers. And I wondered, if you study part-time, how much interaction you get to have with kind of supervisors and fellow students?
Well, on a PhD level, there aren't that many.
Yeah.
The fellow student thing is not such a big thing. I do mix with students in a formal setup in the classroom. I don't actually want to mix with them after. Sorry, guys.
Any other questions for Schalk before he even jets out of here to go and play in another band?
No, I mean, I suppose just the thing of wondering whether one has to suffer because of the other. Especially, I suppose, yours is more interlinked.
It's difficult. Very few people can do music professionally, full-time. It's good to have, just intellectually have a wider base as well. Music is more cerebral than we think. And I think having both sides is mutually beneficial. Your academic side and your performance side. It makes you, holistically, I think, just better.
Het jy enige raad vir mense wat dit oorweeg om dalk musiek te doen en dalk ook te studeer? Want jy kry jou doktorsgraad oor soos 2 weke as jy klaar.
Hooplik. Ek wil nie my supervisors kyk nie. Doen dit. Doen dit. Die uitdaging is groot en ek hoop ek neem aan die verligting aan die einde gaan die moeite werd wees. Alles maar ek sal maar sien oor so 'n paar weke. Maar dit is definitief die moeite werd. Ons land het in elk geval opgevoede mense nodig. So go for it.
Mal daaroor. Education is key. Well, all the best to both of you. And up next, perhaps you, should you have a fever, this is some advice on what you can do.
This family health and wellness segment is brought to you by GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Healthcare.